Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammad Sajjad Hossain and my ID number is 1512674. At first, I would like to thank my honorable teacher who gave me a chance to advise for the student who wish to travel abroad for the high studies to Australia. According to the Australian Migration Report, more than 75,000 international students have applied for Australian student visa from September 2013. This tremendous figure shows that the Australia is turning out to be the hot spot for international students to study and work during the first decade itself. The country has become favorite among international students, with nearly 5 lakh students from other countries migrate to study in Australia. However, later, due to racial attack issue on Asian, it did face some flack and the number came down, but with the current improving scenery, the country seems to be back on track. There are certain migration rules in Australia for overseas students which keep changing, and presently there has been a new rule amended where financial requirement for student visa will be eased and applicants will need about $36,000 less than in their bank account and they do now. Some other changes implemented in migration. Discontinuing pre-visa assessment policy speed up visa processing, allowing prepaid homestay fees to be included in the financial requirement assessment for student visa. English language students can apply for a visa without first meeting minimum English skill. Simplified system. There has been a major change that has simplified the process for visa. Students wishing to study at degree level will now be treated as they were at lower assessment level. The level also depends on the student's country origin according to which they have been assessed. Better employment in future. The migration rule also states that graduates from Australian university are now allowed to work more than 3 years. In addition to these students who have completed master or PhD allowed to work 4 years. The working hours limit have also increased, which previously was 20 hours. Works rule for international students. International student in Australia on a valid student visa can work for up to 20 hours per week while school in the session, and there is no limit for the number of hours an international students can work during recognized school vacations. A work week in Australia is considered to be Monday through the following Sunday, although they are allowed to arrive in Australia up to 90 days before their course begins. Students are not allowed to begin working until after their course have begun. The 20 hours per week limit does not extend to any work the student is required to undertake as a component of his or her studies on training. Voluntary and unpaid work, however, does continue towards the 20 hours if an student works more than the Australian restriction allow. His or her visa may be cancelled. Requirement for student visa in Australia. In order to get the student visa for Australia, there are certain requirements which students need to safety, which includes GTA, genuine temporary intent, and GS, genuine students. OSHC, Overseas Student Health Cover, is a kind of insurance assessment international students meeting the cost of the medical and hospital care in Australia. It also covers the benefit for the pharmaceutical and ambulance service. Students need to provide evidence for proposal duration of their student visa. Current approval of OSHC provide Australian Health Management, Medibank Private, and MIB OSHC. Top 5 universities in Australia. Australian National University, second the University of Melbourne, third the University of Sydney, fourth the University of New South Wales, and 5 the University of Queensland. And most of the government fund and external fund and the university specific Australian scholarship for the international students at bachelor's and master degree, and many universities give a scholarship to the international students, and it helps the international students to study and to cover up the fees. Though the institutional fee on Australia is high, but the educational standard is so rich on Australia. For this reason, I refer Australia the students who want to go abroad for higher studies. Thank you.